8 habits only wealthy people have. Living paycheck to paycheck is exhausting. The money never seems to be there, or if it is, it's never quite enough. You know there has to be a better way because you can see it. And around you are people who seem to be doing it just fine. What is it that they have that you don't? Changing your life is simpler than you think. By changing your habits, you'll discover the difference between there never being enough money and that of enjoying wealth. What do the wealthy do differently? 1. They seize the moment. The wealthy don't wait around to ask permission to get out there and do things. When they see the opportunity, they act. 2. They're not afraid to talk money. That means understanding the financial world and taking the opportunity to learn from those around them. Talking about money isn't taboo to them. 3. They ask for help. When a wealthy person comes up against a problem, they actively seek out a solution. They don't give up. By asking people who they trust for advice and input, they're more likely to find a solution than those who muddle through the best they know how. 4. They understand the financial world. People don't accidentally become rich. They take the time to understand the language of money and how the system works. Learning the phraseology and basics of finance helps you to ask the questions that matter and then to understand the answers given. 5. They know the value of an hour. The wealthy understand that time is a resource that needs using wisely. With that in mind, the wealthy waste less time on things that don't benefit them. 6. They don't try to do everything for themselves. The wealthy understand that there are tasks that anyone can do, and there are tasks that are uniquely suited to them. By outsourcing, they waste less time that they could better spend elsewhere. And they don't waste time floundering through what they're not good at. They recognize it's better to hire someone who knows what they're doing so they can focus on their strengths. 7. They're in it for the long haul. Wealthy people recognize there's no such thing as a successful get-rich-quick scheme. They put in the time, realizing that it's going to take time to reach that big picture goal. 8. They take time to re-energize. Taking the time to rest and recharge is an important characteristic of the wealthy so that they don't run themselves into the ground. You can't be successful on any level if you don't have good health. Changing your attitudes and your approach is all it takes to gain that wealth mindset. You really can change your world just by first changing your habits. 5 steps to changing your money mindset with EFT. You might have heard of emotional freedom technique, or EFT, that has been used for years to help in everything from anxiety to pain relief. But did you know that EFT can also be used to change your money mindset and set you up for financial success? It might sound crazy on first hearing, but think about it. Your money mindset is what dictates your financial success. What you focus on in life is what you get more of. To the person who's resentful of spending, then the act of saving becomes something unhealthy. To the one who's afraid of there never being enough, it becomes very hard to leave behind a status quo that might be keeping them trapped financially. Examining your mindsets and motivations is necessary, then, to change those financial attitudes. How? 1. Remind yourself that where you are today financially has more to do with what's going on inside of you than what's coming at you from the outside world. You have inner set points that dictate where you are, and realizing this puts you back in control by simply resetting those points. 2. Examine your past and discover the attitudes towards money of those people who were important to you. You grew up bearing witness to people talking about money. It's through these memories that you're going to come to understand where your own beliefs originate. For example, if your parents fought a lot about money, then you might be experiencing some unhealthy emotional reactions to money now. 3. Work through whatever financial trauma you're experiencing right now. It's time to let go of the negative emotions and attachments that taint your money mindset and make it impossible to succeed. 4. Use EFT to remove emotional blockages and negative reactions toward money and finances. EFT uses tapping along acupressure points to release money-blocking beliefs and replace them with an abundant mindset. By applying this pressure to meridian points, you free the energy trapped by unhealthy thinking. To learn how to use EFT, type EFT Money Mindset videos into your favorite search engine. There are lots of free videos available to show you exactly what to do. 5. Create new financial goals now that you've worked through the negative emotions and experiences. That means embracing the positive new you when talking about your financial well-being. Remember, you're a worthy and strong individual. By using EFT, you are released to accept your value and worth, changing your attitude toward money as a whole. 3 steps to crushing your money blocks. Money. We love it, we hate it. How many times have you thought that life would be a whole lot easier if you never needed money in the first place? If you've entertained thoughts that money is evil, mostly because you never have enough of it and it seems to take an awful lot of work to get any at all, join the club. Others have felt that way too. It's fairly normal to feel this way, even if it's not the healthiest of thought processes. There's a phrase for this. When you get caught up in that cycle of negative beliefs, it's called a money block, and it could be what's holding you back from financial success. So how do you crush a money block? 1. Notice your thoughts about money. When you recognize a negative thought, explore it, see where it goes. Ask yourself where you got that thought. Whose voice did you hear in your head saying it? Is it something out of your childhood or more recent past? What feelings do you associate with that particular block? Only by doing the work to examine the block in more detail will you be able to understand it. And once you've gotten that far, you're ready to finally set yourself free from the limiting thoughts that spawned it. Here's where you lay to rest whatever was in your past that caused this block to form in the first place. 2. Rewrite the script. Once you've done the work of letting go of the past, it's time to take down the block itself. You do that by rewriting the script. Your mind needs a substitute for those blocks that come up often. So if you find yourself thinking, I can't save money, instead, think about the times when you have saved money for something important to you. Then, armed with this knowledge, find a new statement that's truer than the old one. Something along the lines of, I'm very good at saving for what I want. I saved to buy that blank, didn't I? 3. Embrace gratitude. The last step is pretty simple and takes power right out of a money block. Be grateful. Gratitude doesn't leave room for bad thoughts of any kind. So by focusing on what you have and being thankful for those things, your money block no longer has any power at all. You don't have to come to a crashing halt just because of a money block. Rather, crush those blocks by destroying them at the core, and then replacing them entirely with a thankful heart. These blocks, once defeated, create room for financial success in your life. 7 mindset differences between the wealthy and people living paycheck to paycheck. Who are you really? It might be that deep down you know you're meant for better things. Right now, you might be living from paycheck to paycheck, but you're sure that life could be better. What if you found out that the only thing standing between you and true wealth was your attitude? How does this compare with life as you know it? 1. The wealthy take control of their life. The poor feel like their lives control them. Only when you appreciate that your destiny lies solely in your hands can you possibly create a path that will take your life in an entirely new direction. 2. The wealthy take chances. The poor settle for what's safe. You will never get ahead if you're embracing the status quo. You're going to have to take a risk if you expect to win. 3. Wealthy people do things. Poor people dream. The desire for a different life is nothing more than that, an empty desire unless you're committing to action. You will never get ahead so long as you're sitting around and dreaming about the future you could have. You advance because you do things to get there. 4. Wealthy people reach for the stars. The poor tend to try to keep their feet on the ground. If your goals are small, you're less likely to reach them. Why? Because you have no reason to push yourself if the goal is too small. You'll never gain the impetus to try or even to justify the hard work you're putting in to get there. 5. Wealthy people embrace an abundance mindset. Poor people focus on scarcity. That means when you hear about someone very successful, the rich see someone to admire because they realize there's plenty of resources to go around, while the poor only see someone who takes more than their fair share of the money, feeling it's a finite resource, and so they become resentful. 6. Wealthy people know when to ask for help and how to accept it. Poor people try to tough it out on their own. By asking for help, you gain the wisdom of people who've been on the path that you are on now. You also gain more reach with more resources that will help you to get where you want to go. 7. Wealthy people don't let fear hold them back. Poor people tend to hang back in their comfort zone. You should always take the job that scares you a little, because that's the job that will stretch you and teach you the most. It's also the job that will turn out to be the most rewarding in the end. Remember, by shifting your mindset, you will likewise shift your situation. How you do that is by understanding what the true difference is between an attitude of wealth and the attitudes that are holding you back. How Emotional Freedom Technique, or EFT, can help release money blocks. Did you know that the very same therapy used to help with such things as anxiety and PTSD can also release the blockages that keep you from experiencing financial freedom? EFT, or the Emotional Freedom Technique, has been used for centuries as part of Chinese medicine. By tapping on specific meridian points, the same acupressure points that are used to manage physical pain, you will release pain and blockages associated with money worry. You will also reduce the stress that keeps you immobilized when it comes to making financial decisions. Here's what you gain from using EFT on your money blocks. 1. Your energy levels soar. Money blockages in your body tend to manifest in huge energy drains. By resolving these, you will discover reservoirs of energy you never knew you had. Without energy, you're not able to pursue your dreams for your financial future in ways that you might not have been able to do otherwise. For example, refinancing that mortgage might have seemed an insurmountable task, but now it's something you can feel like you can do easily. 2. You gain your very own spidey sense without having to be bitten by a radioactive spider. In comic books, one of Peter Parker's skills as Spider-Man is a hero-sized intuition that tells him when danger is near. When you use EFT, you gain, on a somewhat smaller scale, a sharper sense of what's a good financial idea or not. Following your intuition can be life-changing compared to how you made your decisions before. As a side benefit, that intuition can be used creatively as well. An example here might be that you're able to come up with some ways of saving money that you'd never thought of without that intuitive leap in your thought processes. 3. You act because you want to, not because you're scared to. EFT brings back up your confidence levels. Acting in confidence means you're making decisions that are congruent with your goals. Your financial plans then become bolder and more in alignment with your dreams. 4. You can see more clearly now than you ever could before. This clarity takes you beyond the world of finances and gives you an understanding of relationships and the world around you that you might never have seen before. EFT is not hard to learn. There are many videos online that'll walk you through the process. Using it to reduce the stress that comes with your financial worries is life-changing. By removing those mental money blocks, you open yourself up to a whole new world of possibilities. Aren't you ready for a more financially healthy you? Are these thoughts holding you back from financial freedom? You're not where you hope to be financially by this time in your life. By now, you'd hope to own your own home. Maybe you thought you'd have a stock portfolio or even be able to afford that fancy vacation. You feel like you're doing everything right, but for some reason, you're not there. What if the only thing that's keeping you from a life free of debt is your own thoughts? The things that we tell ourselves can be very powerful. You already know that your self-talk can mean the difference between a good day and a bad one. But your thoughts hold a lot more power than that. They can limit you and keep you from success. What thoughts, then, are holding you back from financial freedom? People who have money are just lucky. By accepting the idea that people who make money do so because they've got all the breaks, a better education, connections, luck, you convince yourself there's no way, then, for you to do the same. After all, if you don't share the same breaks, how could you? Start accepting that money isn't all that complicated, and that you can make it as well, if not better, than other people. Then you begin to succeed. Money comes from working harder than anyone else. If this were true, there'd be fewer people struggling so hard to make ends meet. Money comes to people who outthink the people around them and who take every advantage that comes their way. You have to spend money to make money. This one is accepted so commonly that you'll find people throwing a lot of money into advertising their home businesses and not understanding when it doesn't work. The truth is, when an idea is sound and solves a problem, money is not a problem. Investors are always looking for opportunities. It's your job to provide them. The money follows naturally. There's no money left for me. This idea comes from thinking money is a finite thing. Think instead of money as being something constantly in motion. People who have it spend it. Your job is to direct the flow your way. You can't have everything. Why not? For every person who is determined that you can either have a successful career or a successful family life, you can find an example of someone who's done both. It's time to get rid of the either-or mindset and embrace the and instead. Financial freedom starts right where you least expect it, in the things you tell yourself. By guiding your self-talk away from the negative and into the possible, you'll find that your success is only a matter of time. You really can think and grow rich, as Napoleon Hill said. 3 steps to becoming a magnet for money. Do you want a life where money comes easily to you? A life where you're not afraid of those bills arriving every month? Well, it's not only possible, but you can also do it. You can be a money magnet. Being a money magnet might sound like an impossible task, but if you follow a few simple, consistent steps to change your mindset, you can change your financial life. 1. Decide you can be a money magnet. You need to want to become a money magnet and believe that it's possible. One of the most important ways to keep your mind from balking when you begin the mindset switch is to feel wealthy now. How do you imagine your life as a wealthy person? For example, you may believe that if you were wealthy, you'd drive a new car, the car you've always longed to drive. There's no need to go out and buy it now. Instead, window shop online for that car. Explore the features you'll choose. Imagine you're truly shopping for the exact car you will buy. You might even test drive the car to get the feel of it. Put the image of your car on your phone and computer screensavers. Set up a car fund at your bank. Each time you add money to that savings account, look at your desktop or search for fun accessories for your car. You want to get into the vibration of how being the wealthy feels. When we tap into those feelings is when we start to see things in our reality changing to match our inner belief. 2. Be aware of your money blocks and work on them. Identify the attitudes and beliefs you have around money and see how they're keeping you and your wealth small. Notice any resistance to checking your bank balance. Be aware of when you tell friends you can't afford to do something you want to do. Pay attention to negative thoughts about money, such as you have to work hard to get ahead. One by one, change these to reflect your new money mindset magnetism. Consciously choose to smile and feel confident when signing into your online bank account. Tell your friends you're saving up to go on that vacation and find examples of people who became millionaires by following their passion. 3. Take mindful action. It's wise to show the universe you mean business, and one way you can do that is by taking action that continues to make you feel great about how you're handling and growing your money. Set up a new savings account and have a percentage of your pay automatically placed into it each payday. Read financial books to help you grow your emotional intelligence around money. Take a hard look at your spending and make new choices from your new confidence around your ability to be a money magnet. One simple way to release your money blocks. Money blocks are the boogeymen of living an abundant life. Put simply, money blocks are negative beliefs about money and abundance that have been buried deep in your subconscious, often since childhood. They can spoil things for you if you let them, or you can take a good look at them, see them for what they are, and let them go. Before you can vaporize them, you must discover exactly what they are. To do this, set aside some quiet time alone and do this simple visualization exercise. Close your eyes and think about money. Observe what happens to you physically and emotionally as you do this. Are you comfortable and relaxed? Do you feel tense and anxious? Do you get an uncomfortable feeling in the pit of your stomach, a lump in your throat? Do your thoughts go straight to your unpaid bills, your maxed out credit cards, your small or non-existent savings? After allowing yourself to experience these feelings and thoughts, consciously relax and let your mind come back to neutral as you take 3 deep breaths. Now ask yourself what messages you got about money. These might be things like money doesn't grow on trees, which you heard each time you asked for something as a child. Or the messages could be more recent, say from a spouse, friend, or relative. Some common messages are, I'm no good with money. There's never enough. I'll never be able to get ahead. I'm not smart enough to be rich. I'll never be able to retire. I'll never be a success. Rich people are greedy. You have to work hard for the money. Once you've discovered the messages you received, think of whose voice you heard saying them. Who was it that first gave you these ideas? A parent, grandparent, pastor, teacher, or spouse? Whoever it was, know that they were trying to teach you and keep you safe. The intention wasn't to place blocks in your path. Think about each message and silently envision the person who told you and thank them for their guidance, and then release the message in whatever way feels right. The message may go up in flames or turn into a bird and fly away. Or maybe you place the limiting belief in a balloon and let it go, rising higher and higher until you can no longer see it. Now that you've exposed your money blocks as the outdated labels that they are and have released them, you can replace them with positive, energetic affirmations that open you up and allow money to flow to you. It may be helpful to write down what you experienced during the visualization and then write affirmations to replace each one. Keep these handy and repeat them daily to implant them in your mind. You are on your way to a much brighter financial future. Using affirmations to reset your wealth set point. Whether you realize it or not, every word you think or speak is an affirmation. Affirmations are declarations, observations, if you will, about you and the world around you. The concept seems simple enough until you realize that what you affirm, positive or negative, is what you internalize and make a part of your reality. Suddenly, that statement you made last week to friends about how you'll never be able to get ahead isn't so innocuous, huh? You can change the way money shows up in your life, though, simply by using daily positive affirmations. Eventually, these positive thoughts and words will replace the negative self-talk you've had for so long. And when that happens, you'll begin to enjoy wealth in a way you never thought possible. Affirmations work because they replace the ideas and beliefs that you've held for years by replacing them with new statements that define you in every aspect of your life. That is why it's so important to use positive affirmations in your life at every opportunity. That's especially true for the behavior you want to change or in how you wish to feel about yourself. When developing a wealth mindset, affirmations become vitally important. Whatever you affirm becomes your truth regarding money. Negative thoughts and negative talk about your money make for an impoverished you. What are some positive affirmations regarding a wealth mindset that you can use instead? Try saying these things. I practice good habits that will lead me to success. My intellect is sufficient to lead me to untold wealth. I have what I need to live the life that I want. I am a tribe gatherer who brings people together and resources that will enable me to reach my goals. My actions are positive and designed to increase my wealth daily. I see opportunity where others do not. I deserve the wealth I desire. I am comfortable asking for help from mentors for what I need. I already have everything I need to become wealthy. I find connections and know how to leverage my resources. By repeating these phrases every morning when you get up and again in the evening when you go to bed, you create a habit of thinking positively about money. These affirmations become powerful in rewiring your feelings about wealth and money, and will subconsciously begin to guide you in ways that make these words a reality. Affirmations have a way of making what you say come true. So be careful of your words, guard your thoughts, stay positive, and make bold statements about yourself and what you're out to accomplish. Only then will you seize wealth and leave poverty behind. Top 5 money books to reset your money mindset. There are so many resources out there to help you reset your money mindset. Podcasts, online courses, Facebook groups, and of course, books. It's never been easier to find the right information on how to take control of your finances, starting with your money mindset. If you're looking to dive into the details and shift your money mindset, we recommend starting with these fundamental financial books. Tapping into Wealth by Margaret M. Lynch. A former corporate engineering manager, Margaret M. Lynch's book shows you how to use emotional freedom technique or tapping as a mechanism to help you clear your money blocks and reprogram your mind's deeply held assumptions and beliefs about money and wealth. EFT is recognized as an effective technique, using acupressure and the power of suggestion to help you focus on your goals and address negative thinking. The book is full of exercises to help you discover, release, and replace your limited beliefs about money so that you can live a richer life. Get Rich, Lucky Bitch by Denise Duffield Thomas. Denise Duffield Thomas is a hugely popular coach, presenter, and writer. She has a straight-talking, no-nonsense approach that will help you break down your mental barriers to wealth and success. Duffield Thomas specializes in helping female entrepreneurs discover and break down their money blocks through the practical application of manifesting using the law of attraction. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich is a classic and a must-read for anyone who's looking to change their mindset around money. In the book, Hill outlines his revolutionary 13 Steps to Riches as part of his Law of Success philosophy. Hill illustrates his principles by relating the stories of Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and other millionaires of his generation. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This book by Kiyosaki has become a classic in its own right and has produced a whole series of books that have educated generations about the possibilities of financial freedom. The book explores the myth of high income equating wealth and teaches you how to change your perspective on the world of money. It explains the important differences between good debt and bad debt and supports you in shifting your money mindset so that you can finally get on the road to financial freedom. The Millionaire Next Door by William D. Danko and Thomas J. Stanley. Based on years of research, Danko and Stanley bring the real secrets of wealth to the masses, and it's not as you've imagined. The authors have designed a 7-step program that's vital to becoming a millionaire. But first, they break down the pervasive myths about how wealthy people behave and where they spend their time and money. The examples in the book don't include superstars, but rather the average Joes who live below their means and make their money work for them. This book is a game changer for your wealth mindset.